Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Khasanah Budi M. In here, I will explain about my lesson plan today. My lesson plan today is reading skill in 3rd grade in senior high school in the first semester. The material is about application letter and alokasi waktunya adalah 1 jam kali 45 menit atau 1 kali pertemuan. Dan kegiatan pembelajaran ini menggunakan metode scientific learning dengan model discovery. Dengan tujuan, siswa mampu mengidentifikasi dan menangkap makna teks khusus berupa surat lamaran kerja dengan memberi dan meminta informasi terkait jati diri, latar belakang, pendidikan pengalaman, kerja sesuai dengan konteks penggunaannya. Di sini media yang saya gunakan adalah spidol, kertas, contoh surat lamaran pekerjaan, dan PowerPoint. Nah, lalu saya juga menggunakan worksheet sebagai instrumen penilaian untuk mengetahui pemahaman siswa terhadap materi. That's all about my lesson plan and thank you. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon everybody. How are you today? I hope you have a great day. Okay, before we start our meeting today, let me check the attendance first. Okay. Retno, Tati, Arina. Okay. Okay, let's start our meeting today by saying basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, thank you. So, today we are going to learn about an application letter. Do you know application letter? Right, surat lamaran pekerjaan. So, I have some question for you. What will you do after you graduate from high school? We want to apply a job, right? So, if you want to apply a job, you should have an application letter. For the application letter, the first one we should know the definition. The definition of application letter. Application letter is personal letters that typically used to apply a job. Jadi, definisi dari surat lamaran pekerjaan adalah surat pribadi yang digunakan untuk melamar pekerjaan. Jadi, termasuk ke dalam surat pribadi. Lanjut, the next is about the social function. In here, the social function of application letter is to give a positive impression from the applicant, or we can say that pandangan positif dari pelamar pekerjaan mengenai kompetensi yang dimiliki serta kecocokan pelamar atau kecocokan kompetensi yang dimiliki dengan pekerjaan yang akan dilamar. Okay, and then the next is language features. Language features in application letter, we use simple present, present perfect tense, and then future tense. Okay, so if you want to write an application letter, you should know about the structure, right? So, the structure of application letter, the first is the address of the writer atau alamat dari penulis. Jadi dalam surat lamaran pekerjaan selalu ada alamat dari penulis. And then the next is date of the writing, tanggal penulisan surat lamaran pekerjaan. And then after that is the address of the company or the receiver, jadi penerimanya atau nama institusi yang kita tuju. Nah, that's about the first paragraph in application letter. And then the next is salutation or greetings, salam pembuka sebelum masuk ke body or content of the application letter. Salutation, and in the body salutation we use usually, maybe we can, Dear Mr. Hansen. Okay. After salutation, we move to the body of application letter. There are three parts of body. The first part is introduction. Pada pendahuluan, pada paragraf pertama dari content of application letter, yaitu introduction, usually the writers write the intention to apply the job and the source where the writers get the information about the job advertisement. And then the next part is the main part. In the main part, usually the writers write the identity, the background of study, the working experience, field of expertise, and then personality, and also the reason why the writers is deserve to the job. And this is the second part of the body. And then the last is closing. In closing, usually the writers write her or his job, his hope when he will get the job. And then after this, the writer also write the email address and the phone number. And then after the closing, the last part of application letter is closing complimentary. Usually we use word sincerely, and after sincerely we put it our signature or the writer's signature after the sincerely, and also the writer's full name after the signature. Okay, that's the structure of application letter. And then the next is about the common expression that usually we use in application letter. The common expression, the first maybe we can use respectfully. I want to apply as, I interest to apply with the position, or I have an ability in, or my background education is, or my competence is, I have a good competence in. Usually we use some phrase like that. So they're the common expression in application letter. So for the clear explanation, let we move to the example of application letter. So we will move to the example. Okay, this is the example of application letter. Okay, pay attention to the first paragraph. The first paragraph is the address and the date of the writing or the writers of the application letter. Okay, the first thing is the writer address. The writer address not only the home of the writer, but also his name and his email. For the example, John Dawson is the name of the writer. Under the name, the writer is write their host and then their email. This is we call the writer address. Under the writer address, there are August 16, 2017. In here, this is the date of writing atau tanggal penulisan surat. Under the date of the writing is the receivers and then the company or institution address. George Gilhooly. George Gilhooly is the receiver. And then XYZ is the name of the company. And then 87 Delaware Road, Hatfield is the institution address. This is the first paragraph in application letter. And then we move to the next paragraph. We will show, Dear Mr. Gilholy. Now, Dear Mr. Gilholy is the salutation or greetings. After the greetings, before we write the greetings, we should have some space after the first paragraph. We have one space to write the salutation. The salutation is become menjadi satu dengan paragraf kedua. After Dear Mr. Gilholy, we move to the first paragraph in the body or content. In the body or content, the first paragraph is, I'm writing to apply for the programmer position advertised in Times Union. Nah, pada paragraf pertama ini yang disebut dengan introduction, atau di sini menyampaikan atau menyatakan maksud dari pelamar dan juga menyebutkan sumber dari mana pelamar pekerjaan tersebut mendapatkan informasi mengenai lowongan pekerjaan tersebut. And then in the second paragraph is the main body or the main content. The opportunity change presented in the listing is very interesting. I believe that my strong technical experience and education will make me very competitive candidate for this position. Nah, pada main body atau isi utama di sini, penulis menyampaikan tadi identity, background of education, working experience, field of expertise, personality, and the reason why the writers is deserved for the job. Jadi pada paragraf kedua di body ini, penulis menyampaikan identitasnya, lalu background education atau latar belakang pendidikan, serta keahliannya dan alasan mengapa dia cocok dengan pekerjaan ini. And then the next is the last paragraph of the body. You can see that, please see my resume for additional information on the last paragraph. Now in here, the writer is write his email and his phone number and also say thank you for the time that the reader or the receiver give to the writer. Jadi pada paragraf terakhir dari isi ini, penulis menyampaikan atau menuliskan alamat email serta nomor telepon yang bisa dihubungi, juga mengucapkan terima kasih kepada pembaca surat lamarannya telah memberikan waktu serta perhatiannya pada suratnya, serta juga menyampaikan harapannya agar bisa diterima pada pekerjaan ini. And then the last is the last part in application letter. After the body, we also should have a space. And then the next is complementary closing. Usually we use sincerely or your faithfully and the others. Sincerely is that under the sincerely we write our signature or the writer's signatures, and then the last part is the writer's full name. You can see that in the last part, sincerely, and then signature, and then John Donald. John Donald is the writer's name. Okay, that's all about the example of application letter. Okay, so after we try to divide it or try to identify the example, I will give you some exercise I have two exercises here. Please complete the exercise in this meeting. And you can check this example if you need help to complete the exercise. So this is the exercise. Okay, this is the end of our meeting. And before I finish our meeting, what we learned today? We learned about the application letter, right? So we learned about the definition of application letter, the social function, and also the structure, also the language feature. In the structure of application letters, there are some parts in application letters. The first is the address of the writers, terus date of the writing, the company address, salutation, and then the body of this application letter, and also the closing of application letter. And we learned about the common expression in application letters. For the example, I want to apply, I have an ability in, my background study is. So if you want to apply a job, please keep your good attitude in write the application letter, and also your attitude when you have an interview for applying a job. So I think that's all that we learned today, and thank you for your nice attention. Please prepare yourself to next meeting. In the next meeting, we will learn about something that relate in application letters, that is the curriculum vitae or daftar riwayat hidup. Jadi, okay, let's close our meeting today by saying alhamdulillah together. Alhamdulillahirobbilalamin. Thank you for your nice attention, and I'm sorry if I doing mistake during the meeting. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, in learning application letter, the student try to know the definition of the application letter, and then the social function, and the language feature, and the most important is the body or the structure of application letter. So in this learning, I give the student an application letter or an example about application letter. In this example, we will try to identify the part of application letter. Start from the writer's address, the date of writing, and then the institution address, and the salutation, the body of the application letter, and then the closing, complimentary, also the writer's name after the signature. And then after we learn, or we try to identify and divided the part of the application letter, I give some exercise for the students. I have two exercises. The first exercise is one example about application letter, and then the question is about the content of the application letter. For the example, who is the writers of the application letters, and then who is the receiver, or who is the alamat yang dituju dari aplikasi dari surat lamaran pekerjaan tersebut. Then this is for example in question in the task 1, and then on the second task I have incomplete application letter. So the student try to find the correct word or the correct phrase or the correct expressions to complete the application letter. But I give the students choices in the box, so the students can choose one of the word or one of the phrase to complete the application letter. So after I give the student exercise, before I close the meeting, I repeat what we learned today is about the structure, definition, and then what we should do when we write application letter, like attitude and the kesopanan serta etika ketika kita menulis surat lamaran pekerjaan. Okay, I think that's all about my micro teaching today. So thank you for your nice attention, and I'm sorry if I doing mistake during this video, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.